So, today we're once again going to go through the Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, as far as I can remember the name and the title of the book. And we're going to go ahead with Untethered Soul theme 9 to, I guess it is 12, I'm actually not sure. Should be 12, well, it's actually 13, 14, apparently. So we are maybe going to be able to go through the whole one today. It just might be the case that I'm gonna leave out one thing just because I'm gonna forget about it, and then this is gonna be the last topic or the last how should I say, the last thing to go through for one episode, which is then very, very short, I guess. But anyway, we're gonna go through it through the few pieces that we are having for today. So yeah, theme 9, heart. The natural state of a healthy heart allows energy to flow through for unending inspiration, unending love, and unending openness. And this is a quote once again. If you're willing to experience the gift of life instead of fighting with it, you will be moved to the depth of your being. When you reach this state, you will begin to see the secrets of the heart. The heart is the place through which energy flows to sustain you. This energy inspires you and raises you. It is the strength that carries you through life. It is the beautiful experience of love that pours through your whole being. This is meant to be going on inside you at all times. The highest state you have ever experienced is simply the result of how open you were. If you don't close, it can be like that all the time. Don't sell yourself short. This can go on all the time. Unending inspiration, unending love, and unending openness. That is the natural state of a healthy heart. I'm not having a healthy heart though, according to this quote-unquote definition or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, your reward is a permanently open heart. There is no more wealth. You live in love and it feeds you and strengthens you. That is an open heart. That is the instrument of the heart as it was meant to be. At some point in the journey, it all becomes heart and not mind. You will see that the mind follows the heart reacts way before the mind starts talking. When you're conscious, the shifts of energy in your heart cause you to instantaneously be aware that you are back there noticing. The mind doesn't even get a chance to start up because you let go at the heart level. In truth, you're not your heart, you're the experiencer of your heart, as it is, as we've been talking about it yesterday, with thoughts and feelings. Your thoughts are just thoughts. You are thinking your thoughts and you're merely watching them, as you're doing it with your feelings and emotions, therefore. So, yeah, incredibly powerful place to be in if you notice or maybe realize, if you will, that you're just somebody that is watching yourself quite, just an amazing thing, I would say, and I would consider. Untethered Soul theme 10, liberation. Commit to inner work and free yourself by finding yourself. Right in the midst of your daily life, by untethering yourself or untethering yourself from the bondage of your psyche, you actually have the ability to steal freedom for your soul. This freedom is so great, it has been given a special name, liberation. How do you free yourself? In the deepest sense, you free yourself by finding yourself. If you want to free yourself, you must first become conscious enough to understand your predicament, whatever this means. Let's actually look it up, because I don't know. A difficult, unpleasant, or embarrassing situation. I really cannot understand how you could have allowed yourself to get into such a predicament, difficult situation, awkward. Then you must commit yourself to the inner work of freedom. You do this as though your life depended on it, because it does. The reward for not protecting your psyche is liberation. You're free to walk through this world without a problem on your mind. You're just having fun, experiencing whatever happens next. The truth is, everything will be okay as soon as you're okay with everything. And that's the only time everything will be okay. I want to repeat it once again. The truth is, everything will be okay as soon as you are okay with everything. That's the only time everything will be okay. That's amazing. Fucking amazing. I'm actually having to highlight that. I do hope that I'm gonna remember to kind of extract it in some or the other way. And I don't know, this is one This would actually be one of the thoughts that I would tattoo myself, somewhere, somewhere I can see it. Maybe legs, just because when it comes to work and stuff, then, I don't want to be limited by my personal decisions, even though, some people deeply care about it, apparently, still, unfortunately. It's amazing, as well as we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality, which is by Seneca, which, it's not the whole quote as far as I remember and as far as I know, but it is the most important portion of it, I would say, whatnot. So you decide to use life to free yourself. You become willing to pay any price for the freedom of your soul. You will realize that the only price you have to pay is letting go of yourself. Only you can take inner freedom away from yourself or give it to yourself. Nobody else can. It doesn't matter what others do unless you decide that it matters to you. It's very stoic. It really is stoic, which is, okay, outside events don't really matter because you can't control them. And you shouldn't be controlled by them neither, just because also you yourself can't control them. So it's a relationship a relationship that should actually not be existent, as I'm thinking about it. Untethered Soul theme 11, letting go. Deep inner release, a spiritual path in and of itself. Constantly let go and get permanent peace, permanent joy, and permanent happiness. If you want permanent peace, permanent joy, and permanent happiness, you have to get through to the other side of the inner turmoil. You can experience a life in which waves of love can rush up inside of you and of you anytime you want. It is the nature of your being. You simply have to go to the other side of the psyche. You do that by letting go of the tendency to cling. You do it by not using your mind to build false solidity. You just decide once and for all to take the journey by constantly letting go. The first point, if you're willing to let go, you'll fall back and it will open into an ocean of energy. You will become filled with light. You will become filled with a light that has no darkness, with a peace that passeth. This is actually a word, I guess so. Let's look it up. It apparently is not a word. So anyway, peace that passeth all understanding. You will then walk through every moment of your daily life with the flow of this inner force sustaining you, feeding you and guiding you from deep within. You will still have thoughts, emotions, and self-concept floating around in inner peace, but they will be just one small part of what you experience. You will not identify with anything outside the sense of self. Because if you do, it's not a good place to be in. Deep inner release is a spiritual path and in and on itself. It is the path of non-resistance, the path of acceptance, the path of surrender. These are just really amazing thoughts. I'm not gonna lie, it is. I don't feel that empowered as I would like to, but I also deeply believe that the book, or reading the book, is way better and way stronger and way more empowering than it is to go through the summary there. But yeah, it is what it is. Still, I think it is amazing. I think there are just some really good and amazing thoughts. Sometimes it sounds a little bit woo-woo. Sounds a little bit too spiritual for me, to be honest. But I don't know, I have to be open for it. I need to be open for it so that I can see things and notice things. Untethered Soul theme 12, Centeredness. Persistently centered consciousness is the seat of the witness, the seat of self. These practices create moments of centered consciousness. Eventually, you will have persistently centered consciousness. Persistently centered consciousness is the seat of self. In this state, you are always conscious of being conscious. There is never a time you're not totally aware. There is no effort. There is no doing anything. You're just there, aware that thoughts and emotions are being created around you while the world unfolds before your senses. If you aren't centered, your consciousness is just following whatever catches its attention. A wise person remains centered enough to let go every time the energy shifts into a defensive mode. The moment the energy moves and you feel your consciousness start to get drawn into it, you relax and release. Letting go means falling behind the energy instead of going into it. This place of centered awareness is the seat of the witness, the seat of self. That is the only seat from which you can let go. If you maintain your center, you can learn to appreciate and respect even the difficult experiences. experiences. Yeah, we sometimes can. I think it is also crucial to life to be able to, see experiences and really then work with them and not against them, and use them as experiences and use them as learning material and use them as something to learn from and get better because of. Sometimes we're able to do that, or sometimes I have been able to do that. Sometimes it's a bit more difficult. I do think, especially when it comes to relationships and love and whatnot, it really gets pretty difficult for me to get out of a rut, to get out of a really, 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 really deep hole sometimes. And I have been in this hole, I think, 3 or 4 times in my life right now, where it's been about just some love shit, and I've really gone down. I've really, really motherfucking gone down, but in the last hole, which I think I'm kind of still am right now, even though today I actually feel pretty good, I think it's the most difficult I've been in. The other ones, yeah, not that difficult. I would say, at least they haven't been constant for such a long period, I think, or existent for such a long period. But in the end, I've always been able to get out of it. Always. I've always been able to go back to a quote-unquote normal life and a way better life by I think just pushing through it and letting time heal myself and letting time heal my mind, actually. Yeah, but I'm gonna see what it is gonna be like in a few weeks or months, and I'm definitely gonna keep you informed with new findings, with new things, with things that I have to discuss and whatnot. But yeah, the Untethered Soul theme 13, the middle way, where the energies are balanced and where you get filled with energy. The way is in the middle because that's the place where the energies are balanced. But how do you stop the pendulum from swinging to the other edges? Amazingly enough, you do this by leaving it alone. It won't keep swimming to the extremes unless you feed the extremes with energy. Just let the extremes go. Don't participate in them, and the pendulum will naturally come toward the center. As it comes to the center, you will get filled with energy. This is because all the energy that had been wasted is now available to you. And I do want to say, yeah, it's completely the case. The more you feed, well, I don't know, like, the happier you can get by outside forces, the unhappier you can get by outside forces. I think it goes in both directions. And this is something that I'm actually having from Gary Vee in some or the other way. I remember there was something that I've been talking about like a few months before. But yeah, I believe that the more you can get distracted or affected by things, outside things especially, in a positive way, the more you can also get affected by them in a negative way. So yeah, just stay in the middle, stay balanced, stay in the center, stay there. Makes sense. It really does. It really does fucking make sense. No discussions of living life as a spiritual path is complete without addressing one of the deepest of all spiritual teachings, the Tao Te Ching. When you move in a Tao, you're always present. Life becomes absolutely simple in a Tao. It's easy to see what's happening in life. It's unfolding right in front of you. But if you have all kinds of reactions going on inside, because you're evolved in the extremes, life seems confusing. That's because you're confused, not because life is confusing. Yeah, I am confused at the time. Life is pretty fucking simple and straightforward. But I'm confused at the time. I'm not gonna lie. This is something that I have to admit, something that I have to say. And I feel it in a way of, okay, sometimes I'm thinking this and feel pretty good, and sometimes I'm thinking something maybe similar or something different, and I feel pretty bad, even though it seemingly doesn't make any sense, This is when I've kind of realized that, well, there's something going on. Like the swings in emotions that I'm experiencing, or that I have been experiencing, I think 2 days ago, it's been quite extreme. Or yesterday as well. I don't actually know. Yeah, it is what it is. I think realizing and seeing it is one of the most important things there is, because you can't do anything about things if you don't see them, if they aren't existent for you. So yeah, which, let's see. If you have no preference, if the only thing you want is to remain centered, the life unfolds while you simply feel for the center. There is an invisible thread that passes through everything. All things move quietly through the center balance. That is the Tao. The Tao of Seneca. Which is, by the way, a book by Tim Ferriss. I don't remember what Tao means. I think Tim actually explained it. The absolute principle underlying the universe, combining within itself the principle of yin and yang, and signifying the way or code of behavior that is in harmony with the natural order. The interpretation of Tao in the Tao Te Ching developed into this philosophical religion of Taoism. Gotta have to read a little bit more about that. Maybe this is gonna be the theme or topic of the next episode. Untethered Soul theme 14. Unconditional happiness. If you decide that you're going to be happy, you will not only be happy, you will become enlightened. Fuck yeah, this is totally the case. I mean, I do think that we often are just fighting ourselves in a rut just because we don't want to get out of it. And I've seen it with myself. I've seen wow, it's actually quite hard work to get off this fucking place. It really is. But it is easy to stay in it. It is easy to stay negative. It is easy. It's not hard work to stay negative and to stay in a negative spot or place or whatever you want to call it. But it is just really hard work, and it really is work if you want to get out of it. If you want to change your mind, if you want to change something inside of you, something outside which which is a problem by itself, that you or I have let some outside events, have done this to me. This makes sense. I hope it does. But now changing back, once I am in a place where I probably my mind feels pretty comfortable in this place. It's easy. It's easy to stay negative. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to see the negative. It doesn't take a lot of just brain energy, which is involved in just staying positive. When it is about seeing things and seeing how good things actually are, and all sorts of shit. Yeah, definitely. If you decide that you're going to be happy from now on for the rest of your life, you will not only be happy, you will become enlightened. Unconditional happiness is the highest technique there is. You don't have to learn Sanskrit or read any scriptures. You don't have to renounce the world. You just have to really mean it when you say that you choose to be happy. And you have to mean it regardless of what happens. This is truly a spiritual path, and it is a direct and sure, and it is as direct and sure a path to awakening as could possibly exist. Oh, there's actually a 15 and 16 and 17 and 19 and 18. So this is going to be the last one for today. Pretty fortunate that I'm not going to be able to go through the whole one. But it is what it is. People tend to burn themselves with so many choices, but in the end you can throw it all away and just make one basic underlying decision. Do you want to be happy, or do you want not to be happy? It's really that simple. Once you make that choice, your path through life becomes totally clear. This choice to enjoy life will lead you through your spiritual journey. In truth, it is itself a spiritual teacher. Committing yourself to unconditional happiness will teach you every single thing there is to learn about yourself, about others, and about the nature of life. Once you have passed through trial by fire and you are thoroughly convinced that you will let go no matter what, then the veils of the human mind and heart will fall away. You will stand face to face with what is beyond you, because there is no longer a need for you. When you are done playing with the temporal and finite, you will open to the eternal and infinite. And then the word happiness can describe your state. That is where words like ecstasy, bliss, liberation, nirvana, and freedom come in. The joy becomes overwhelming and your cup runneth over. No matter what happens, just enjoy the life that comes to you. Which again is very stoic, like amor fati, love faith. Love faith. Love your situation. And don't even wish it to be different. Love faith. See the good in it. See the amazing in it. No matter what happens, just enjoy the life that comes to you. Fucking amazing book. Maybe I actually gotta have to read it. But I'm not sure. I'm really not good at, sticking to reading things. The key to staying happy is really simple. Begin by understanding your inner energies. If you look inside, you will see that if you look inside, you will see that when you're happy, your heart feels open and the energy rushes up inside of you. When you aren't happy, your heart feels closed and no energy comes up inside. So to stay happy, just don't close your heart. With that being said, I'm gonna end the episode here. So I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which once again is a pretty fucking nice thing. 3 things that I'm having for you are why are you here, what are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most. These 3 questions. I hope they're gonna show you a purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing as well. One last thought that I have for you is, what could you say to another person that is indeed going to change their life? What could you essentially say? Because I totally believe that we all can say something, that we all can communicate something, that we all can do something that is indeed going to change somebody's life. I totally believe in that from the bottom of my heart. If it is 1 word, well, actually 2 words maybe, or 3 words, I love you. Or actually 1 word, thanks. Actually pretty simple. Anyway, gonna end the episode there, so please take care of yourself, your family members, all of your loved ones, and yourself, family. I forgot about something, but I don't remember which one. Yeah. Bye-bye.